Hello and welcome back. This is Digital Publishing Online and I'm Lisa Gabrielle. And again, I'm still working on trying to look at the camera, look at you instead of myself over here in the corner, trying to test out some physical live video for these reviews. Okay, so what I'd like to do is talk about this handout here that I have on the screen, which is the application dynamic. And it's pretty important for this project. And the reason for that is, let me mute that. Hopefully my office phone is ringing, so sorry. I can't mute it. It will not mute. All right. So the application dynamic is pretty important for several reasons. And I mentioned back here in your handout that for this project, both the brochure and the postcard, that the software that you should be using for this project is InDesign. However, I also mentioned at the beginning of this class that the class does require you to have some prerequisite knowledge in other softwares such as Photoshop and Illustrator. And that really didn't come into play on the first project in our class, but now it may be to your advantage to have some previous experience with Photoshop and Illustrator, especially Photoshop. So this comment in your project handout here is related back to this handout. And what this handout is explaining is what I like to call in the field the application dynamic. And what that means is even though you're learning how to use InDesign for this class, InDesign is not the only application that you need to know in order to be successful at page layout and digital publishing. You will definitely need to have under your belt a good image manipulation program, which is Photoshop, and a good drawing or vector based application, which would be Illustrator. Okay, so having the knowledge of Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign will allow you to be much more versatile in terms of creating work in this industry, because you will use these programs at different times for different projects. In other words, InDesign is not the perfect application for everything you might do in the industry. Photoshop is not necessarily the perfect application for everything you might do. Illustrator, same thing, is not the perfect application for all types of projects. So you need to be able to know all of them, so that if a project falls in your lap, such as let's pretend you get a project to design a logo. The best application to use to design a logo would be Illustrator. So you could maybe do it in InDesign. I wouldn't recommend using Photoshop. The best application to design a logo would be Illustrator. And the reason for that is because in Illustrator you can scale graphics as large or as small as you need to. And usually brand design or logo design requires a lot of that. So another example might be if somebody came to you and wanted you to do some color retouching or photo retouching on images. The best application to do that type of work would be Photoshop. It wouldn't be InDesign, it wouldn't be Illustrator. So those are all tasks that you may be involved in or asked to do when putting together, brochures or any kind of collateral work like book design or book cover design or, brochure design, postcards, and any kind of that stuff, any kind of thing like that. So it's important to understand the dynamic and where all these applications fit in terms of that dynamic. Okay? You, in essence, in this class are learning how to put together like the master program, which kind of takes all the assets that you can create in Photoshop, such as photographs, all the assets you can create in Illustrator, such as logo designs and illustrations, and combines them all together into a layout program. And that's what you use InDesign for. Okay, just so that's understood. So you may have to review, or you may have to go and look at some videos online about how to work with some of the things, and they'll be basic. I mean, some simple things like, you know, scaling an image or retouching an image or color correcting an image are all very simple tasks that you probably will need to know in order to succeed at this project that you're working on. Illustrator, you can get away with not knowing in this class, because you can do most of or some of the things you can do in Illustrator. You can do them in InDesign. You do have vector-based tools in InDesign to work with, but Photoshop in essence is going to be another tool that you are going to need to be familiar with. So you might want to think about looking up some videos or trying to find some tutorials online to kind of bone up your skills on Photoshop. I will try and find some around here, but since this class per se is just for InDesign, I really don't have a lot of resources to give you, although I'll look around the internet and see if I can find some free resources. Also, in addition, and you've already been using the PDF file format in the previous project, but you're also going to be using it for this project as well. So PDF is in essence how we take a project and we kind of compress it in a sense, and we can send it through email or upload it to the internet, and other people can see what our designs or what our projects look like. We can kind of take them out of our own little environment and we can send them off. It's more mobile. Again, PDF stands for portable document format, so that means that you can take a document that you have housed on your machine and send it elsewhere, like to your client through email, or post it up to your teacher on the internet, or whatever other capabilities you might need for PDFs, transport and such. So this is pretty important, so take a study on this. This is important information. I also have some info here about how to start getting started on organizing yourself for a project like this. And if you don't already know from the previous project, I gave you a handout about packaging your files. There were some good cues and examples in that handout and in that video about how to get organized, how to set up a folder for your project. In that folder there should be, like, there's an example here, like this is your project, this organized right here, this is like project 2, and inside there you should have a InDesign document, and then you should also have a folder where you keep all your images on the project. You may have custom fonts that you're working with. You might have a folder where you keep all those fonts. So getting yourself organized, instead of having assets and images and artwork all over your desktop and in different folders and on different jump drives and on CDs, try to get yourself organized where you keep all your digital assets in one location. So that's what this is talking about here at the bottom half of this handout, is how to get organized on your local hard drive and on your local computer so that you can succeed at a project like this, because it does require you to work with a multiple set of assets. You'll be working with InDesign documents, you'll be working with photography and Photoshop documents, you may end up doing some graphics or infographics in Illustrator. So you will need to have a central location that you store and organize all those digital assets. Okay, so this handout is also in your eCampus classroom to access, and I think that should cover everything that I wanted to review with you on the project. If you have any questions about the project, you can certainly post them in the problems and solutions area. And again, this class is my favorite class altogether. The first project you guys did, the book, was my favorite. This one's my second favorite, so I love this project. What is challenging for me with this project is, since it's such a visual project and there's so many things that require your handwork, doing it online is going to be a challenge for me, and it probably will be for you. And we may end up having to do some photography. You may have to shoot pictures of your progress, because there's no way for me to require you to give me like two-dimensional or flat graphics for some of these progress reports. So, but I'm still sort of brainstorming, how are we going to do this online? How's this going to pan out? So bear with me. I'm trying to keep the visual element as much as I can in this online class without stripping it out and making it a boring class. And that's what I'm struggling with, is making it understandable, but also keeping the visual element in the class. So I look forward to working with you on this, and I can't wait to see what kind of ideas you have. So until next time, happy designing, or at this point, happy researching.